Can you, yep, can you sign in first though?
Yes, I will.
Lady Di?
So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Elkins Building and the Tabulation Center for the ranked choice voting tabulation for the 2nd Congressional District race, which was conducted on November 6th. We are in the process of, we're about to begin processing all the ballots and other election materials from the 2nd CD race. It's going to take us some time. We began receiving materials yesterday afternoon. We were bringing stuff in until about 9:30 last night. This is a public process, so the public can observe. We do ask that people be respectful of the work that we're trying to get done here and not do anything that would interfere with our work. We do have a secured facility here. It's badge entry only. This component is public. And we have a number of employees of this Department of the Secretary of State who are assisting us along with support from election systems and software. We have folks here from the Elections Division of the Bureau of Corporations, Elections, and Commissions, from our central office, the archives, and the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. These are the same people that were so helpful to us in the June primary tabulation. So Julie Flynn is the Deputy Secretary of State for Corporations, Elections, and Commissions. She is going to be in charge of this. I will be available for questions. We have folks from the Attorney General's office who can help with technical questions about how we're proceeding with this. But the basic premise is pretty simple. We are in the process of continuing to gather election materials from about 375 towns comprising the 2nd Congressional District. That includes the tamper-proof containers from towns that count their ballots by hand, and the memory devices that are applied to the DS200 tabulating systems. And then with this system you see here is a closed loop system. It's not connected in any way to the outside world. And the folks here will be downloading images of ballots from the tabulating machine devices, the memory devices, into that system. And then in the back of the room we have a high-speed tabulator that reads about 300 ballots per minute that will be running the hand count ballots through. So comparatively speaking, the DS200, which is a wonderful machine, very efficient, is basically our Hyundai Excel. That is our Lamborghini. So it's a great machine, and the technology is about, from our experience, about 99.99% accurate in its readings. So we should get a true tabulation of what was done on Election Day. And once we have everything loaded in, we will then run the tabulation through the algorithm that will tell us what the rankings actually look like. So that's going to take some time. We don't have a sense of how long this is going to take. In June, it took us, we did not work through the weekend. We started this process the same time on Friday, and we were completed by Wednesday. This is a different race. This is a general election as opposed to a primary. There are quite a few more ballots to consider, more memory devices, or just the same number of memory devices, but a lot more traffic nonetheless. So it's going to take us some time. We ask people to be patient, and if people have questions about the process, again, this is an open public process. And we'll do our best to make information available. A lot of the information that we're working with, we really need to keep things moving. So if you have questions about the login sheets, etc., we prefer to make those available when we're done with them, rather than stop what we're doing to make things available in transit. So, and we'll make sure that people have access to any information they need, have any questions they want answered. And I think that's about it. I haven't said anything wrong, have I?
Not yet.
Not yet. She hasn't done the flying tackle. So Julie Flynn will tell you the details.
So we're going to start by bringing in Androscoggin County. For the Androscoggin County is all machine tabulated, so we will have memory sticks only, not ballots. We don't have the full county yet. We're missing a couple towns, which will get picked up today. But we're going to bring those in, and then we're going to those will be uploaded into the computer set you see here. We're going to produce a report after each set is uploaded. When we have the return of votes cast, remember towns have until 5 p.m. today by law to get their returns to us. So we'll be trying to match up the return on Election Day with the return that we get, or the numbers that we get from the system. One, as an integrity check to make sure we have all the memory sticks involved or all the ballots involved. And secondly, to see if there's any discrepancy in the numbers. And sometimes If ballots are marked marginally where the voter has made a light mark, 99% of the time it may count it as a vote, and 1% of the time it may not count it. So we will see some minor discrepancies in those results. But we will be going through that during the days that we are processing. We may not keep up with it entirely. We may lag behind in doing that certification, and we will be getting more materials in today. In the corner, when we will be bringing the ballots from Aroostook County in, those are the ones that are hand counted. We're going to be opening a town at a time, taking their lots of ballots. They've counted them in lots of 50, wrapped a tally sheet around it. They'll have referendum ballots separate from candidate ballots. So we'll go through, we'll have staff go through everything that's in a box, open the packages of referendum, make sure they're all referendum, put them back in the box, go through the packages of candidate ballots, bend them back in the other direction so that they will flatten out as much as possible before we put them in the high-speed tabulator. And then we'll put all of the ballots through for a town. There's sometimes a ballot cannot be read by the machine because of how it's marked. In that case, we will put it aside, and we will have to create manually create a cast vote record. It is the cast vote record that the ranked choice voting algorithm reads, and that is a representation. It's not an image per se, but it's a representation of how that ballot was marked. So if candidate A is marked first, candidate C is marked second, and then they don't mark any other candidates, it's going to be candidate A, candidate C, undervote, undervote. And we will have a representation for each ballot. So if it can't be scanned, we're going to create that here, two-person team entering it into a spreadsheet. And that can be reviewed in the event of a recount just to make sure that we've done that correctly. All of those that can be scanned or have been scanned by the towns and uploaded, those cast vote records are created in the system, and we load them into a separate computer that has the algorithm. We are not networked between the scanner and the computers. We're going to save the results on a memory device. At the end of the day, we'll upload all of those results from what is scanned today into our system. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. We'll do the same thing Monday. Tomorrow and Monday, we're starting at 10 a.m., so you're not going to be able to get into the outer door even. I mean, today's a work day, so you could get in at least to the outer door after 8 a.m. because the building is open. But tomorrow, the doors will be unlocked at 10, and you'll be able to come in, and we'll have people leave at 5, or if we're a little bit after, it'll be because we want to make sure that everything's sealed back up before we let the public go out, so that everything is sealed while we go and rearrange things and get ready for tomorrow. So, okay. So the first thing we want to do is produce a zero report from both the computers and the high-speed tabulator. This is what election officials do on election day. If you use a tabulator, the first thing you do is you show the ballot box is empty. There's no ballots already cast. We don't have a ballot box here. All the ballots are sealed in containers or sealed on the memory stick. But we do produce a zero report from both of our systems, so you can see we don't have any test results or anything processed in there. So we're all starting with zero. We'll clip those. Those are going to be somewhat lengthy reports, but we'll clip them and we'll have them up here so that you can look at them. Some people like to look at those things, so we'll be happy to pass those around. We do ask in the corner, we're going to have coffee, the refrigerator. That's for Secretary of State use. So you're on your own. I can give you directions to Duncan if you want, but so we will.
And as you can see, the maximum capacity is 49 people. The 50th person will be escorted out. With prejudice.
At your discretion, who's the 50th?
Of course, with the tripod, you're 3 people, so I just want to make sure everybody that's here and my staff is signed in, right? Okay. So we do have a sign-in sheet. People care to know who's in.